Vegas. The Cup's going to stay in time. The Golden Knights are Stanley Cup champions. The 6-year mission has been accomplished.
Incredible, isn't it? To a man, the 6 original players, the head coach who lost in his only battle. This was all about a second opportunity, and you see the end result. Always hard to see the difference between winning and losing, and the faces at one end watching the other.
Bruce Cassidy saying earlier today, if we don't allow a 6-on-5, we win in a sweep, but if they scored on us 6-on-5 in game 4, it might be tied at 2 apiece. So the margins were a little slimmer than a 9-3 score would indicate tonight.
No question.
And now Mark Stone leads the victorious Golden Knights into the handshake line against a game but outmatched Panther team here in this final.
Yeah, mutual respect between captains there as Barkov and Stone.
There's Sean Burke.
Oh, what a great moment that is.
Recommended Eichel Hill as a target to be acquired, and what a huge part of this whole story that turns out to be.
You never know what decision is the one that's going to make the difference. And that one, what a storyline that ends up being, with Hill coming in and really coming into the rescue.
Bruce Cassidy wins his first after being on the other side of this handshake line back in 2019.
Yeah, he was pretty candid today, wasn't he, about even up 3-1, you just never take for granted. You know the feeling of not being able to get it home. But his team took over in the second period. You remember this game as when the Knights got skating and got going, they were just too much.
A great playoff for Sergei Bobrovsky for 2 rounds. As good a goaltending as we've seen in the Stanley Cup, but a guy who came in with all kinds of question marks in Game 3 against Edmonton answered everything in this series.
Just ahead of where Hill was with Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky showing respect for Hill, but he also had a nice little talk with Jonathan Quick. The experience of Quick in this lineup, not on the ice, but was great as well.
Let's go down to ice level. Here's Kyle.
Alongside Mark Stone, Chris. Mark, you are as emotional as they come when it comes to moments of joy. So what's running through you right now?
I'm surprisingly pretty calm right now, but listen to this. Listen to this right now. It's unbelievable. These fans have been unbelievable since day 1 of the program here. So, I mean, I can't put words to describe it. You know, there's 6 guys who have been here since day 1 creating this culture. I mean, and now we got a Stanley Cup in Las Vegas. I can't believe I'm doing it with this group of guys. It's so special. It's unbelievable.
How would you describe how a 6th-round draft pick, and I know Kelly McCrimmon had a big hole in that too, but a 6th-round draft pick becoming a captain of a Stanley Cup champion and a hat trick in the clincher?
This team's built to win. It's not just one guy. Somebody's got to step up every night, and we had somebody do that every game that we won on this way. You can name 25 guys that played for us in this playoff, probably 30 throughout the season. Everybody has a as a piece of this puzzle. It's unbelievable. I don't know what to say. It's coming here and city welcoming everybody here and embracing this team. I can't even describe it.
You've earned every bit of it, Mark. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Chris.
Need to have that moment with Kelly McCrimmon because Mark Stone was his captain with the Brandon Wheat Kings and brought him here. And they didn't immediately name a captain in Vegas. They waited for things to develop, but it became clear who the emotional leader was, and he was in spades tonight.
Look at the originals as well, just how the emotions are running. When Kelly McCrimmon came out too, he and Jack Eichel had a pretty big bear hug. You talk about a leap of faith for McCrimmon with Eichel getting the surgery that he had as well.
What a playoff for Jack Eichel, his first. Questions about his back or neck and that very serious surgery, but also questions, could he take a team and lead it in the playoffs? Well, in his very first playoff, 26 points and more assists than anybody else.
And there was Laurent Brossoit, who, as I said, started this playoff, went 5-2 and went down to injury against the Edmonton Oilers, and that opened the door for Aiden Hill. What a year of goaltending with really 5 guys. Thompson with 21 wins and an all-star performance to start things off.
They've got a bunch with pads on the ice right now, and in March they had 4 goaltenders win 4 consecutive games. That's never happened before. They had Hill, Brossoit, Logan Thompson, and Jonathan Quick. And outside, more neon and the greatest moment in the history of the franchise and in the young life of Jack Eichel. Alex Petrangelo's been here before.
Yeah, I tell you, the bond between teammates when you win is forever. And you could see it in the moment now, but I can tell you, you run into a former teammate that was a part of this, and it feels like time stands still.
Well, interesting votes ahead. I don't think anybody's going to be sweating it on the Golden Knights because they're only interested in the big trophy.
Lots of good options.
Who will be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner?
Yeah, lots of good options. And like you said, some performances tonight that might have swayed them one way or another, with Eichel with the big night assist-wise and Stone with the hat trick.
Just completing the setup, moments away from finding out the Conn Smythe Trophy winner. Marchessault certainly made his case, didn't he?
What a great moment there, though, too. Right from the get-go, Marchessault, the emotion in his eyes.
Discarded by the Panthers.
Yeah, no, and then to have it against the Panthers as well is probably a little bit more special, but nonetheless, what a playoff he's had.
One of the misfits who became can't miss. And although we didn't see him in this series, we've been told what an impact Jonathan Quick's made, and if this is a swan song, it's pretty good one for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, part of it is working so hard in practice for the guys who aren't playing, or allowing the goaltender who is to get the rest that he needs, and just the growth. There's Mr. Foley. What an exciting time for him. You think of the 6-year plan, well accomplished it. You called it, and your team came through for you.
Winning teams. Logan Thompson, who was at the All-Star game, and because of injury, we couldn't see him. Next voice you hear will be public address announcer Bruce Cusick. They need a recount. We await anxiously, and we're told we are ready. And here is Bruce.
Please direct your attention to the ice for the presentation of the Conn Smythe Trophy to the most valuable player of the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Vegas, you certainly know how to throw a party. What's going on inside this arena and outside is incredible and a testament to what a great hockey market this is. Let's congratulate the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights on great seasons. The Conn Smythe Trophy goes to the most valuable player in the playoffs. This player, second in scoring in the playoffs, tied for first for goals, and an original Golden Knight, Jonathan Marchessault.
Well, it's fitting that a misfit would win the first Conn Smythe Trophy for Vegas. A guy described as just fiercely competitive, and we saw plenty of evidence of that. And now, the moment everybody has been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stanley Cup!
Bill Foley had the vision, the creativity, and the audacity to bring the first Major League team to Las Vegas. And then he said, we're going to win the Stanley Cup in 6 years. What has happened here has been simply incredible. Not only is Vegas a hockey town, it's a championship town. Congratulations to George McPhee, Kelly McCrimmon, Bruce Cassidy, and most important, the players on your Vegas Golden Knights. Mark Stone, our tradition for this 130-year-old trophy is to present it to the captain.
Well, congratulations, 3 goals tonight, a Stanley Cup etched in stone. And the first handoff, I think we're going to see 6 handoffs in a row. There's Riley Smith, another former Panther. And they're cheering in Mimico tonight. Next up, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner.
Kelly McCrimmon said at the start of this Stanley Cup, Jonathan Marchessault somehow scores the big goals in the biggest games when we need it most.
William Karlsson had a brilliant first year offensively, but he became, well, Bruce Cassidy compared him to Patrice Bergeron. His tremendous defensive ability playing against Connor McDavid, Rupe Hintz, Mark Scheifele. Brandon McNabb knows the feeling.
It doesn't get old, and amazing how light a trophy with such weight can feel in this moment.
Cup winner in Los Angeles, and he'll hand it off to another of the originals, Shea Theodore. And they're cheering in Alder Grove, BC tonight. And the sixth member of the original team, and a guy who led them in game-winning goals this year, William Carrier.
Yeah, what a great year for Carrier. Another just glue guy within the locker room and on the ice. Another acquisition, guy who's done it before.
He's got two. Of course, he's got triplets at home, so he needs one more.
Got one more coming.
And how about Alec Martinez? 9th anniversary of that unforgettable overtime Stanley Cup winner, and he does it again tonight. 3 cups for Alec Martinez.
Former teammates reunited again. What a special moment that is to pass the cup back on to Jonathan Quick. What a incredible run he had in Los Angeles, a former Conn Smythe Trophy winner as well.
What a curtain call for him. And now a guy who won in this building where they weren't cheering as loud as they are tonight, Chandler Stevenson. Took a cup back to Humboldt in 2018. Going back to Saskatchewan again. And for the first time, Jack Eichel is a Stanley Cup winner. And he's every bit the star player that I think people expected when he was picked number 2 overall. Back to the ice, and here again, Kyle.
Yeah, alongside Riley Smith. Riley, did you know the captain was giving you the first handoff?
Yeah, he tipped me off right at the end there. So that's an amazing moment. It's an amazing feeling to share it with these guys. There's no one else I'd want to go through this journey with.
You said your life has changed a lot the last 6 years here in Vegas. What does this city come to mean to you?
It's unbelievable. Like, they've welcomed me and my family since day one. This is home now for me, so it's been unbelievable. I can't thank the community and the fan base enough.
You mentioned home. The youngest of 3 brothers, all excelled in athletics. Of course, Brendan played in the NHL as well. What was it about the Smith household that provided athletic excellence?
Just great parenting. They put in so many hours to give us opportunities to be where we are today. Can't thank them enough, and couldn't be more proud to have them in the stands tonight watching.
Riley, congratulations. Chris.
5 goals in 2 Stanley Cup finals. Look who's hoisting the cup for the 3rd time. Phil Kessel, the Iron Man, played every game of the regular season, but lost an opportunity to play in the playoffs in the first round. He hands it off to Keegan Colasar, and another one of the Manitobans, and there's so many. I'm surprised Scott Oak's not down there waiting to lift the cup.
And how about Zach Whitecloud? What a moment this is as well. What a great series and a great playoff he's had.
Another great moment for another Manitoban as we join David and Elliot.
Alongside Alex Petrangelo, not 1 but 2-time Stanley Cup winner. They brought you in specifically for this moment to solidify this team. Now that it's come to fruition, what does this all mean to you?
I mean, the first one feels special, but this one feels pretty damn special too. I mean, it's a hell of a team. I'm telling you, it was a lot of fun coming to work every day with these guys. It's a hell of a year for us too. I mean, see my baby girls and be able to sit in that cup again, it's pretty special.
I wanted to ask you about the Misfits, starting them tonight. They all touched the cup first. Just what's it mean to the group to see them celebrate?
Well, we don't get here without them, right? I mean, you know, Bill had a vision. Those guys started off the right way. They were competitive from day one. And Kelly and George just kept building the team from there. And credit to them, credit to Bill, credit to the Misfits, and they kept this team going. Here we are.
Alex, it's been 30 years since the Canadian-based teams won the Cup, but this Vegas team is filled with Canadians like yourself. Is there a bit of a Canadian vibe on this team, knowing how much the Cup means to you as a kid growing up, and now here you are?
Well, I mean, that doesn't matter where you live. These are the moments you play for, right? And you play for the joy of sharing this thing with your friends and your family, and you go through a long year with your teammates, and it's the right way to finish it off.
Alex, congratulations.
All right, thanks, guys.
So one of your defensive partners, Shea Theodore, now with Kyle.
Yes, David, thank you. So you've been looking up at the video board here the last while. What's been going through your mind?
It's awesome. It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine we're here, but I'm just so proud of everyone.
The way this night started, 5 of the original Misfits to kick off the game. How did that set the tone for what this night has become?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Awesome of Bruce to do that for us, and definitely a nervous shift, that's for sure, but you know, we got it under control.
Just wondering, a couple years ago, you battled cancer, you got through it, you're playing again. The dose of perspective that gave you, I wonder how that all plays a role in your life now.
It's unbelievable. You know, definitely grateful for every day, and especially for a day like today.
Awesome. Back in Aldergrove, who do you think of a moment like this?
I mean, my family's here, so it's pretty special to have them here for it, and I think, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to bringing the cup back home.
Great, and I'm sure they're excited for it, Jay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chris.
There's Teddy Bluger. Pretty good indication of the depth of this team. He was a key player earlier in the playoffs. He was the first guy on the ice at the skate yesterday, just staying ready in case.
Well, that's what Captain Mark Stone was saying. The 25 guys who played throughout this playoffs, the 30+ that got through the regular season. It takes a little bit of everyone to get the journey. How about this feeling?
Dropped a year ago in Boston. It was 1 year ago tomorrow. He was hired by the Vegas Golden Knights for this purpose. And one of his first hires, going to get, I think, in the hands of the owner here. It's time for Bill Foley, who got the ball rolling. And Kelly McCrimmon, who put it all together.
Now the guys behind the scenes rarely get this moment, and what a moment for the owner handing it off here.
Bill's done some heavy lifting for 6 years now. Let's go back to David and Elliott.
What a journey. What a journey. Put it into words.
It's hard to now. It's tough. It's hard to come up with something. I mean, it's the best feeling in the world. You know, we had a pretty good run there, and I just love those guys in that room, and so happy to be here. And you know, we battled through the playoffs. I mean, I just give everyone so much credit. Management, ownership, the whole organization. It's a really special organization, and I just feel blessed to be a part of it.
Jack, what about your personal journey? I mean, there was probably doubt sometimes that crept in. You would maybe never get this opportunity. It's here, you've done it. What does this mean to you? What gave you the strength?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of adversity. But, you know, coming here and being with these guys every day, it really changed my outlook on a lot of things, and I started to, you know, really enjoy coming to the rink again, and, you know, obviously got my health back, and I can't give the Knights, the entire organization, enough credit for allowing me to come in here, you know, get a surgery and get back out. And I mean, we just have an unbelievable group of guys in that room that really, really care about each other. And when you're going on a run like this, it's hard to process what's going on while it's happening. But when that thing comes out of there, it's a pretty special feeling.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Thank you, David, alongside Jonathan Marchessault. And Jack Eichel was just talking about all come together here.
I mean, the first year was an unbelievable group, but I mean, the past few years we wanted to get back to that, and this year I've never had so much fun in my life, honestly. All the guys in the locker room, everybody stepping in at the right time. Honestly, it's the most proud group I ever had, and so happy what we've done this year.
You were saying, you know, since you were 12 years old, you had people doubting you. So to get to this stage now, a Conn Smythe Trophy winner and Stanley Cup champion, how did you do it?
I mean, that's just a surreal feeling. It's a tough trophy to have, honestly. And honestly, all of us were winners. And yeah, that other trophy is great. But I mean, to get here and get the Stanley Cup, you need the whole organization to be great. And it could have went to any one of those guys. So just happy to be part of it.
What kind of party is the city in for?
I don't know, but a big one probably. You got to think so, right?
Right. I would hope so, Jonathan. Congratulations. I think the photo's coming up here.
Thank you.
Chris.
Don't want to miss the photo, and they are just going through the support staff, the trainers, the athletic therapists, and you know better than anybody how important they are to a championship team.
Well, they're players, they're partners, they're brothers, they're family. I mean, they do more than the players could ever imagine having to do. They make sure that the players get everything they need to get to the level, and it is such a special bond. And you know, every player is standing around and watching and cheering and clapping as the cup goes up and gets passed along with them.
Before they take the picture, just a story about Jack Eichel, because when Bruce Cassidy first met him, he said, how can I help you be better? How can you help me be better? And they certainly found the right formula.
And it is about patience, isn't it? It doesn't always happen immediately, and you even mentioned the combination of that line that finally came together and played such a big role. I don't know if you could see on camera, but when Marchessault was awarded the Conn Smythe, it was Eichel and he that were hugging each other first. Jack Eichel went right to him and made sure he let him know.
Kyle's with Bruce Cassidy.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, Bruce, Coldry Avenue in Ottawa, that's where you won your Stanley Cup as a kid, but to do it here in Vegas, how do you put it into words?
1301A, I'll never forget that address, even though it was 30 years ago or 40 years ago, but it's hard to put in words, let's face it. I mean, it's just a great feeling. Lots happened in the last year for me and my family, but what a way to finish it off.
Well, you mentioned the last year, so tomorrow is 1 year since you were hired here in Vegas, and you were said, you know, you had the Bruin logo tattooed on you effectively, Bruce, so how do you describe what this last year has been like?
Well, I got another one tattooed on me now, don't I? So it's great to be in this club. You know, you're a winner forever now. They can't kick you out, so it's a hell of a feeling.
What stands out about the journey, player and coach?
You know what, right now, I don't have one thing in mind. It's just a terrific group of guys. I mean, I think we went through our ups and downs as the year went on and started building something in training camp, and here we are. And you know what? I thought we earned every step of the way. The series we won, I thought we played as the better team, so good for us.
Bruce, congratulations. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much.
Chris.
On the public address system here, Bill Foley was being interviewed, and he said, it's not over. We have to do it again. We have to do it again. So
already thinking about the next time. Well, the fans have stayed around, as you can imagine. Pretty special to be able to have won here on home ice in front of your home crowd.
More than a few Elvises have not left the building here tonight, and you could see the throng outside. And they've been there since, what, 2 o'clock?
Yeah, it's been just an amazing presence out there. And the payoff is, you know, this is a moment that sometimes can get away from you. And you mentioned not a lot of teams have been able to win their first chance and get that chance to hoist it, as opposed to getting on a plane tomorrow and going back to Florida. So credit to Cassidy and his team that they just bent a little bit in the second and then just took off. That stretch of about 10 minutes in the second period will go down as a big reason why this thing ended here tonight.
All winning teams are a family, and this one is particularly tight because they all live in the same area in Summerlin, most of them, and the outskirts of the Vegas Strip. Right back to David and Elliott.
And your uncle.
All right, and we have Zach Whitecloud. Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation would be very proud, and this must be just a special moment. You must be thinking of them right now.
Yeah, I said in the last interview, I said it's not, there's so many people that help all of us get to this point in our lives, right? And, you know, obviously, first and foremost, our parents for the money, the effort, the sacrifices, and the days when they didn't want to take us to the rink. And as you said, my grandma was one of the ones, my auntie taking me to the rink, my dad, and it's unbelievable.
Now, we showed the watch party tonight during the broadcast, so they're watching. What would you say to everybody right now?
Thank you for the support. The unwavering support consistently, as you know, I've gone throughout hockey in my travels, and I'm thankful for everyone at home for following along and being a part of the journey, and no, just proud of my heritage, proud of my culture, and proud of where I come from.
Finally, Zach, you say you take pride in being a role model. Hey, they're doing a little, I don't want you to miss this. Yeah, I didn't want him to miss that. Let's send it back to you.
Good call, David.
Going to take a victory lap first, and so they should, because everybody's remained in the building. Just got to make sure he doesn't trip over any flamingos.
Exactly, they're all over it. You talked about sharing with teammates too. I ran into Wayne Gretzky in the hallway before this game, and this moment for me is the most special moment of my Stanley Cup experience with your teammates. It's a picture that just lasts forever and such a special moment to have.
Make sure everybody's got a spot, including the boss, who's going to move into the front. Picture perfect. And without incident, nobody dropped the cup this year.
Mark Stone was pretty cautious getting in there after seeing what happened last year.
What a night, and maybe just getting started. And what a 3 days for Canadian sports. Nick Taylor winning the Canadian Open. And by the way, on the coaching staff, Ryan Craig is from Abbotsford, same hometown as Nick Taylor, who opened our show today. Last night it was Jamal Murray, and he, of course, from Kitchener. Nick Hague from Kitchener scored tonight. I think Oktoberfest is going to be in June this year in Kitchener. And now 18 Canadians have lifted the Stanley Cup tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights. One more picture What a night. The Golden Knights, the 2023 Stanley Cup champions. Ron in the panel with more after this.